Good morning, children. Welcome to this session of mine where I'll be reading and explaining you the chapter My Elder Brother by Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy was one of the greatest writers of the world. His books, Anna Karenina and War and Peace, are considered masterpieces. The extract you are going to read is taken from his autobiography. Before reading the chapter, let me give a brief description about the story. The narrator of the story is Leo Tolstoy, who also happens to be the writer of the story. My Elder Brother is a story of two brothers, the narrator and his elder brother Voloda. In this story, he talks about his relationship with his elder brother. The narrator was just a year and a few months younger to his elder brother Voloda. Therefore, they treated each other almost equally. They loved, fought, played together as any other siblings. Despite all this, there is a vast difference in their character and personality. Voloda is quite mature for his age. He has a number of hobbies and interests and passionately pursues them. The narrator, on the other hand, is full of inferiority complex. He is not capable of taking independent decisions. Even to choose a hobby, he feels someone should help him decide. He envies his brother's qualities, but secretly admires them and wishes he too were like him, but is egoistic and arrogant. He suffers from inferiority complex too, and as a result, he overreacts to all the situations and tries to dominate with anger and irritation. Voloda enters the room and finding his table in a disarray and one bottle missing, he guesses that this must be the mischief of his younger brother. He demands to know why he touched his things without his permission. Though initially the narrator confessed that the bottle broke by mistake, he could not bear to be on the back foot. His ego soon took the better of him, and he was back answering his brother. A minor scuffle took place, and the narrator walked out of the room, badmouthing him. By evening, they had enough time to ponder over the day's quarrel. Time acted as the best healer. Voloda was quick to return to his normal mood, but his younger brother continued to brood. After the evening lessons were over, the younger brother picked up his exercise book and started to walk out. Just then, Voloda called him, looked squarely in his face, and apologized for his behavior, though the mistake was entirely the younger brother's. He then held out his hands to embrace him in a very forgiving gesture. Actually, Nicky was also waiting for this moment of reconciliation. He realized how his brother readily apologized for his behavior when he had every right to be angry. He felt choked with a mixed feeling of guilt and ego and felt the burden of carrying it too long. Tears rolled down and he clung to his brother and asked for forgiveness. Voloda was much more controlled. He did not have to make a show of his emotions. Meanings of a few words are already given in the chapter. Here are meanings of a few more words for your better understanding. Superiority, higher status. Sensitivity, responding to slight changes. Tendency to analyze, readiness to examine. Deceived, cheat. jerking, a quick and sudden movement, sternly, in a serious and severe manner, retorted, responded, or answered. Don't be cross, not to be in a state of anger, offended, insulted, squeezing, firmly pressing. Let's read the chapter. I was only 1 year and a few months younger than Valoda. We grew up, studied, and played together. There was no distinction of elder or younger between us. But soon I began to realize that I was no comparison to him, either in interests or in abilities. Even Valoda himself was aware of his superiority and was proud of it. In fact, he was better than me in everything, at lessons, in arguments, and in manners, and all this took me farther from him, causing some kind of anguish that I could not understand. What tormented me the most was that it sometimes seemed to me that Valoda understood what was going on inside me, but tried to hide it. But perhaps my sensitivity and tendency to analyze deceived me in this case. It could be that Valoda did not feel at all as I did. He was impulsive and his enthusiasm in different hobbies did not last long. I could not help being impressed by his hobbies, but I was too proud to imitate him and too young and not dependent enough to choose a hobby for myself. But there was nothing that I envied so much as Valoda's large-heartedness, which was clearly visible when we quarrelled. I always felt that he was behaving well, but I could not do likewise. Once, when his passion for ornaments was at its height, I went up to his table and accidentally broke an empty, bright colored little scent bottle. "Who gave you leave to touch my things?" asked Valoda. "I knocked it over by accident and it broke." "What does it matter?" I asked. "Do me the favor, never dare touch my things again," he said, putting the pieces of the broken bottle together and looking at them sorrowfully. "And you, please don't issue orders," I retorted. "When a thing's broken, it's broken, and there's no more to be said." Then I smiled, though I hardly felt like smiling. "Yes, it means nothing to you, but it does matter to me," said Valoda, jerking his shoulders, a gesture he had inherited from Papa. "I'm not going to quarrel with you," said Valoda, giving me a slight push. "Go away." I said sternly, "Don't push." Valoda in an irritated voice, "Get away." I retorted, "Don't push, I tell you." Valoda took me by my hand and tried to drag me away from the table. But I got hold of the table and pushed it hard with my leg. As a result, the china and the glass ornaments crashed to the floor. "Little boy!" cried Valoda, trying to save some of his falling treasures. It's all over between us, I thought as I left the room. As soon as the afternoon lesson was over, I left the room. I was too uncomfortable and ashamed to be alone with my brother. But Valoda raised his head and, with a meaningful smile, looked at me. Our eyes met, and I knew that he understood me. He said in a natural voice, "Don't be cross anymore. Forgive me if I have offended you." Saying this, he held out his hand. It was as though something welled up from my heart and nearly choked me. Presently it passed away, the tears rushed to my eyes, and I felt immensely relieved. "Forgive me, Valoda," I stammered. squeezing his hand. Valoda looked at me as if he could not make out at all why there were tears in my eyes. Hope you enjoyed learning the lesson. Thank you.